All right, let's wait for 2 minutes. Any questions anyone has?
Ravi, can't we use?
Not at Shema. See the links I'll show you now. Okay. See, I thought I'll have you guys download it, but I thought, okay, let me a little bit. If you instead of downloading one, if you download and other stuff, you know, again it's a problem. So I'll show you now. Okay. By the way, guys, how many of you are very new to Linux? Okay.
Yeah, we are
Can
new.
you can
Yeah,
you, can you, can you just
I'm
put
new.
it? You are very who are new to these things. Just put it in chat. Maybe if you are new, just put SS. Let me see there. Hmm. Okay, Rajendra Sri Vishimya. Yeah, just go ahead, guys. Who are new, just go ahead and put it SS.
Ravi,
Yeah,
can't we use VMware Workstation?
you can use, no problem.
No problem, no?
Yeah. My whole point is, I want you guys to create your VMs and do practice on that for
No.
first few topics. That is a way how you should make yourself psychologically
Mm,
comfortable saying that, oh, you know what, I know how to create VMs.
yeah.
Mhm, okay. All right, I think quite a few are new, so what I will do is, let me give you a brief on Linux as well. Okay, so guys, whatever we discuss in the class, I think you all probably would be getting those videos, right? So make sure that you download and put it on your system. Okay. Um, it will be very useful for you guys. Okay. Uh, the moment you get it, Visualpath, when they send you the link, you can view it. You can even download also. So if you want, you can download and keep those links. Okay. And you are not going to miss even single class. Okay. So everything you should practice. See, we started, this course with our first discussion where we try to see how the infrastructure has changed over last 15 to 20 years. So broadly, what are the three steps I told? Initially, everything was on-prem, or kind of everything was bare metal or physical machines. This is what I told is a bare metal. And every company used to have their own building where they used to keep all these servers. That is called on-prem. Later, virtualization came in. where on one physical machine you were allowed to create multiple machines inside it, and those are called as VMs, virtual machines. Why it is called virtual machine? Because it is there inside another system, right? So from an outside, if anybody are connecting to that machine, they will not come to know whether it's a physical machine or it's a machine inside another machine, right? So in that sense, it's a virtual stuff. And a self-service of this virtualization is what is called as your cloud, right? Where, you know, users can themselves create all the stuff is what is your cloud. So these are the three kind of machines what you might be working on. Either it could be virtualization or complete physical machines, or it could be cloud. And I told you that this same virtualization, if you want, you can have it on your laptop or desktop or your workstations, where you can create multiple VMs. And we decided that each one of you now on your laptop, let's say if it is Windows or even Mac, what you are going to do is you are going to create VMs on your laptop, and this is where we are going to practice our first two topics, which happens to be Linux commands and Ansible. So how are we going to create these VMs? We need to install a virtualization software. Virtualization software is also called as hypervisor. So what virtualization software are we going to use it? There are multiple in market. VMware Workstation, Oracle VirtualBox. There are tens of tools like that. But let us choose Oracle VirtualBox. Just that it is free, okay, and very stable also, and very easy to use also. And you can start creating your VMs. So what is the lab that we should have initially is on your laptop. Install this Oracle VirtualBox, which I'll show you today. Then we are going to create 3 VMs is good. Even 2 is also enough, or 3 is good. We'll create 3 VMs, and there we'll practice our first two topics. Okay. Now comes, I think, quite a few seems to be new to this Linux administration stuff, or to that matter general administration also. So what we'll do is, let's do a little quick discussion on what this Linux is. What we are trying to do now is that we have a VM, okay, machine is ready. What OS should we install on this for our course now? Okay, that is what we are going to discuss, and why that. Let me give a little brief on Linux. Uh, I'll tell a small quick story. Timelines and other things, take it easy when I don't remember it. Just that I see quite a few are new. So let me give a little bit on Linux stuff. See, I think sometime around late 1960s. Okay. Uh, guys, this is a small story, but very useful. Whoever are new, and even if whoever are already working also, you can take some good points out of this 5-10 minutes of discussion. Sometime around late 1960s or probably early 1970s, a consortium was formed to create an operating system. So what is consortium? It is basically a group of things, right? In that consortium, I think Bell Laboratories were there, which happens to be a telecom provider. And there was some university, let's say some University of California, some university, and I think even GE was there, something. So these three companies have funded the project, and they wanted to build an OS which has these features. What are those features is, The OS that they're going to build, they want it to be a multi-user, okay? They want to have a multitasking kind of a feature, all right? Uh, Portability was one thing what they wanted. Security was the other thing what they were looking for. And one is kind of a messaging, okay? What is multi-user? Guys, now to understand this story, you should think about 30, 40 years back, or okay, or a little more than that, 50 years back. They wanted an OS which will allow multiple people to connect to the system same time. So it should not be that one person is logged in, nobody else cannot log in. That doesn't really work out, right? So they wanted to have an OS which will allow multiple users to connect to the system at the same time. When multiple users connect and each user is doing some task, then your OS should do all these tasks simultaneously. It cannot be that one user is connected to the system and that guy is doing some job, or let's say he's creating some file and other thing, and your OS gives the complete resource to him, and till his job is completed, if it does not do anybody else's task, then the queue will become big and it becomes irritating also, right? So it means OS should have some kind of a feature where what it does is whoever is working on the system, everyone's request it should be able to process, okay? So that is kind of a multi tasking. The fourth thing is security. So if multiple users are able to log into the system and work, then there should be some kind of a provision where if one user creates a file, he has to make sure that nobody else deletes it, right? So that is where all these permissions and all this comes into picture. And now they wanted a feature like a messaging where one user will be able to send messages to others saying that, oh, you know what, please don't shut down the system, or, oh, you know, I'm doing so and so stuff. So they want a provision where you can even send a message also. You know, that is, there is no email, this kind of stuff. They wanted in the OS itself some kind of messaging so that you can send messages to the other user. All this was great, right? One other thing what they were looking is portability. What is portability is, now you are developing an OS, okay? That group, when they were developing an OS, how will they test it? Naturally, they have to take some hardware, they have to run the OS on that and see how it is performing. They wanted to build an OS which will work on lot of different hardware architectures. So you take one architecture, your hardware, you work on that. They wanted that OS to work on different hardware also. With these intentions in place, they have written the whole code. And what happened is that they were getting all the features, but this feature they were not able to get it. Time passed, few years, then that is when Dennis Ritchie came in and he wrote C language, right? So after that, what happened? The code, whatever they have written now, everything they have written it in C, and they were able to get all these 5 features. And the name that they have given to this OS is Unix. Now we are into late 70s or early 80s. Unix operating system is ready, and it's a very good operating system. And they started telling that, guys, go ahead and use it. Imagine I go to I'm talking about that time frame, okay? I go to some huge bank and I tell them, you know, we have a great OS called Unix. We are ready to give it to everyone. Go ahead and use it. You don't need to pay me any money for it. Just go ahead and use it. Will huge corporations use this kind of a software? Probably not, right? Because they will always have an apprehension that tomorrow, if something goes wrong, who is going to support us, right? And it's not that they will have enough number of people in the company who already knows this. So that that kind of embracing the new things generally doesn't happen too fast, because there are a lot of apprehensions. If this goes down, what, or if that happens, what, and all that. So this is the time when companies like Sun had their own hardware called as Spark. IBM had that time there, or even today also, they have their own, IBM machines. HP also has their own kind of a HP machine, right? What these three companies, a lot of companies, I'm just taking these three. What this guy Sun has done is, he said that the same Unix he has taken, he has modified it little bit with some graphical things and easy to use, and he named it as Solaris. Similarly, IBM also has taken same Unix, little bit tweaked it so that it works well on their hardware, and they named their OS as AIX. HP has taken this Unix and they named it as HP Unix. Now, what is the sales pitch they have? They say that, for instance, you take Sun Microsystem. It used to say that you take my hardware, which happens to be Spark, I give you the Solaris, you use it, and anything happens, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And that makes a lot of a value proposition for huge customers, right? You pay money and you get everything, whatever you need. Sun is giving you that. So these people really captured the market, and it was going great. But the original intention of that anybody can use this Unix now has gone for a toss. It has become a completely commercial one. You, the moment you take some products, you are completely tied up to them. Every year they'll ask you to give an update or pay so much amount and other things. Still you have to do it, right? Then what happened? A group formed actually, that is called as, I think, by the way guys, names and other things, take it easy, even I don't remember. Open source foundation group, I think. Open source foundation group or something. Okay, this group, what they wanted is, they wanted to build an OS which is freely downloadable. Okay, what is meaning freely download is you should be able to download. There is no license or anything attached to it. If you want, you should be able to see the source code. What is the source code? How they have written the whole thing. If you want, you can see that. If you want, you are even allowed to create a derivative programs, meaning that whatever these guys are going to build, they're telling that you take it. If you want, to modify it and create a new product. For that also we are okay. And they even want to give you redistribute kind of stuff also. Meaning that now you take their product, you create something new, and if you want, you can give it to other people also. They are okay with that also. And generally, this is what is called as GPL license, General Public License. So these group want to build an OS now with this kind of stuff. Then what they have done is, they were they wanted to write everything new. So they have written a C compiler this time. That compiler is called GCC. And this whole code, they have rewritten it, and they call it as Linux. So Linux and Unix are pretty much same, but these guys generally say that okay, Linux is a Unix-like operating system, but not Unix. Okay, it's okay, that makes sense, but commands, everything is same. Now again, we are somewhere now into late 90s or mid 90s. OS is ready and Linux is ready, and they say that guys, anybody want to use it, you can download, use it. You don't need to pay me any money. Again, if the same thing arises now, you go to a big bank or a big corporation, some big company, and you say that, hey guys, why are you wasting money so much on these guys? Okay, take it easy. Go ahead and use Linux. The very first question they'll ask you is, see, if tomorrow if something happens, who's going to support us? Okay. Then what happened? Companies like Red Hat, Novell, and these companies all have become a kind of distributors of this Linux, and the most prominent one is Red Hat. Red Hat is a company which was formed who basically wants to distribute Linux, and the Linux that they are giving is called as Red Hat Linux. So what this Red Hat does, it says that, see, you take the product, I will give you the support, anything happens, I'll take care. And they are going to charge you a little bit of money. But the original intention of creating this Linux was that anybody and everybody should be able to use it free of cost, right? So what Red Hat and Novell, Novell, a lot of SUSE and all these Linuxes, right? Primarily Red Hat is the market leader. What they say is, see, whatever we are charging is very, very minimal. The reason we are charging you that money is primarily for the support, not for the product. It means product we are still giving you free. We are not charging that money for that. We are charging money only for the support that we are providing for you. Okay, so what Red Hat does, anytime Linux come with a new version, they'll test it on different hardwares, right? And they will release any kind of security bugs are there, they'll fix it and they'll release it. And tomorrow you get any problem, they'll help you out to fix those things, right? So they tell these are all support activities. For this we are charging. We are not charging you for the main product, which happens to be Linux. But again, if people say that, hey, no, see, it doesn't make sense here, this whole thing we wanted to use it free, now you are making it little bit of, price involved in it. So what this Red Hat has done is, it says that then I'll do one thing. There is one more community called CentOS. Okay. So what Red Hat used to do is, whenever they come with any new release, one copy they used to give it to this group, or that is called forking, means they used to give to this group, which you can get it from the CentOS side. So what is the idea there is that whoever does not need any support, you can just go ahead and start using the OS. And what is that OS called? CentOS. It is exactly like your Red Hat only that you don't get the support for it, right? So today, you work in a company and you just started your journey into Linux. Generally, and nowadays all the companies are pretty matured, but at least 10 years back or so, the way it used to happen is they used to start with Red Hat, they used to pay money for them, and slowly once they keep getting the confidence that they can do it by themselves, slowly that Red Hat they used to move it only to few systems and they used to use more of CentOS stuff because both are same. So and the way what it happened in case of Red Hat is that, see, initially Red Hat in till 2002 and 3 they used to give it as Red Hat 8, 9, 10, like that they used to give the versions. But from 2003 onwards they started naming their product as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So the initial one, I think what they gave is version 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, and now it is 8. This every version Red Hat gives in us, the life cycle is for 7 years. So any new version they give, they support it for 7 years. All right. So you take 3, they support it for 7 years. Even 4 comes also, you can use 3. 7 years they'll support. So this 8 is there, but now you go to any company in the production environments, you will see version 7. So now, what is the OS that we are going to practice? If I take Red Hat Linux and I ask you guys install Red Hat Linux, the problem is that you need to again buy you know, uh, license for that. Okay, let me correct myself. What you get with Red Hat is not called license. Okay, these products are given with something called subscription, not license. Okay? There is a very big difference between license and subscription, guys. Okay, in world of cloud and on this open source kind of tools, you hear more of a subscription based kind of usage rather than license based of usage. What is a license is, see, today I live here in Hyderabad. I make a choice that I want to buy Hero Honda or Hero bike. Okay. So what I should do, I should go to the showroom, Hero showroom. I tell them that I want so and so bike. They tell me that okay, give us 1 lakh rupees, uh, and we'll give you this bike, right? I pay them 1 lakh rupees. They give me the bike. I take the bike. Bike is mine now. And every year or every 6 months, I go for maintenance. Whenever I go for maintenance, I keep giving the additional, that maintenance kind of money. But what is the point here is when I went to the showroom, I have given an upfront amount, right? I have given 1 lakh rupees to take the bike. Any product where you give upfront money like this is that model is called license. So anybody says ours is a licensed product, the meaning is that first you need to pay money to start using it. Okay. Whereas Red Hat and other things use subscription model. What is a subscription model is you say that hey Red Hat, I want to use your OS. They allow you to download and you start using it. You don't need to pay any upfront cost. You need to make a deal with them that I will take a subscription for 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, different prices they give you. Meaning that if you take it for 1 year you can use this OS. After that you can leave it off. You don't need to pay money. Just like the newspaper. I get a newspaper at my home. I never paid to that newspaper delivery boy any upfront cost. I tell him, okay, just put the paper from tomorrow, and end of the month he comes and he says, I have given you paper for 30 days, and each day is 1 rupee, or let's say 2 rupees or 3 rupees, and he says, okay, you need to pay so much amount to me. And if I don't want, I'll say, okay, I don't want it for next month. He says, okay, fine. You don't need to pay, to cancel anything or other thing. That's fine. He'll not give you next month. So what is the big difference between these two models? In the subscription, you will never pay any upfront cost. Based on the usage, you'll give the money. Red Hat does the same thing. Okay, so you don't need to pay hefty amounts. You just subscribe it for an year and pay the money for that. Whereas all these products here, whatever I mentioned here, these all works under licensing model. You want to use it, you're gone. You need to pay a hefty amount. And in fact, that is the basis, Red Hat's way of charging money. What has become a new norm now? Okay, licensing model, and rather people are going for this subscription model. Okay, so today, if I tell you guys go ahead and download Red Hat, let's do our whole lab on that. The problem is you need to buy subscription also, and I don't want you guys to do that because it doesn't make any sense. So what should we do? But I want you guys to practice a little bit of Red Hat Linux. There's one more thing, huh? When you're practicing DevOps, a lot of places they take Ubuntu and show you, right? My experience, I tell you, Ubuntu, if you know Ubuntu is like, I'll tell you as we go ahead. Okay, it's just a different flavor of Linux. But guys, who are learning, at least in this batch, and who are learning new, see at an enterprise level, whenever we speak about Linux, it is pretty much Red Hat Linux only. Okay, so Ubuntu is okay. It is used more so on desktops and other things. Servers also you can use it, no harm in that. But Red Hat is the market leader. Okay, so we will do our whole course on Red Hat. But I don't want you guys to buy Red Hat. So what I'll tell you here, I told you right. What Red Hat is doing, they give a copy, which is called Red Hat Enterprise Linux. A similar copy is given to a group called CentOS. This OS is called CentOS. This is free. You can download, you can use it. And I told you the version that currently everybody are using is 7. So what version are we going to practice everything on now? CentOS 7. Is it making sense, guys? Why I have chosen CentOS 7 OS for us to practice? Right? Did it make sense, guys? It should, right? Right? Now, how? So what is the picture that we have here now? How is our lab going to be now? So this is your laptop or desktop where you are practicing. Let's say for now everyone are on Windows. I want you to create VMs, okay, virtual machines. To create VMs, what you should do? You are going to install a software called Oracle VirtualBox. Once VM is ready, what OS are you going to install? CentOS 7, right? So we are now in a in a kind of scene where we understand why we are using this, and this is how we are going to set up our lab. Okay. So what you guys should do is, okay, okay. So what you do is go to open your Google and you say Oracle Vir VirtualBox download. Okay, go to this downloads Oracle VirtualBox. Click on this Windows source, guys. It will download it. Okay, you don't need, it's a exe file. It downloads it. Wait for 2 minutes. Then go and double click it. It will ask you to reboot the machine. Reboot it. Okay, just this. If you want, you can do it right along with me. Second thing, what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Once this is done, what I want you guys to do is I want you to type CentOS 7 download. Go to this site called centos.org. You see this site? Don't do here, guys. This late, if you download this, you'll get the latest version. I don't want you to practice the latest version because still people are not using it. Go to this older version here and then click here. All right. You will come to this screen. What version we are looking at? 7. Go and click this mirrors. Now go to any, these are all mirrors. Mirrors means rather than having everybody download it from one server, they have put servers at different locations, and they're giving an option that whichever is nearest location to you, from there you can download. So meaning that you click anything, that's okay, that's fine. And here you will see there is a link with some size 4.4 gig G. This is what I want you to download. This is the CentOS OS. So two things. What are the two things, guys? You need to download Oracle VirtualBox. Then you need to download CentOS. Uh, shall I put it in chat if you want to download it? Hey, where is my chat, guys?
Yeah, please.
No, no. How come I don't have? It doesn't allow me to type. Ah, okay. Here it is. Huh? Okay, guys, go ahead and download this. Whatever I put it in the link. Let me Oracle VirtualBox download. Let me put this also. Okay. Okay. This I think I have to make it a little bit high. Guys, you have to be with me. You have to keep practicing your stuff with me. Otherwise, what will happen is that we will go in a flow. Whatever syllabus is given to you, I will start going line by line, and getting it done. Okay. So that we are on track, and we'll make things happen very smooth. But for that to happen, you guys also should be with me and practicing it. Okay. Hey, if you are using MacBook, Lakshmi, you can choose this. Okay. But if you want to do it on Mac, it's okay. But yeah. But I would suggest if you have Windows, just work on it so that the whole class is on the same OS. Uh, you know. All right. Any questions still here?
So VirtualBox is Oracle VirtualBox or normal VirtualBox? I
No,
installed.
this is actually this is owned by Oracle. Okay. So
Okay,
VirtualBox or Oracle
Oracle
VirtualBox.
VM VirtualBox. I
Yeah, yeah,
installed it previously. Sorry,
correct,
so I can install this one new link, right?
correct. I gave you two links, right?
Oh,
The
okay,
second
okay, thank you.
download. So when you install VirtualBox, what will happen? Uh, this is the only one thing, I don't want to click it now. The reason is it starts downloading. It will take 5 minutes. After that, one of you, if you want to, guys, okay, do it. What will happen is it will ask you to reboot your machine. So what you have to do is you just click this. It will download. Okay, download, come here. Just double click that. Next, 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 next. Okay, just click for 4 or 5 times next. It will ask you to reboot. Your Oracle VirtualBox is ready. And I have downloaded this and kept this CentOS with me. So I'll show you the practicals now, how to do the installation and all. Okay, only the actual bugs you guys download. Okay, let's do it this. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Each one of you please download according to your OS, and I would suggest everybody please be on Windows if possible, so that we whole class is on same stuff. Just download it and see if it is getting downloaded. Okay, I'll also be back in a minute. In the meantime, download this, guys. Just click this, everyone. Just click this. All right, yes. Were you all able to download it? Okay. Let's go ahead and download it. Just one session more, and then we'll get onto all the whole all practical stuff. Okay, just one small thing. Whoever are comfortable with Linux, bear me for 3-4 days, guys. Okay, then we'll go into our DevOps tools.
Sir, when I'm installing VirtualBox, I'm facing this error, sir. Oracle VM VirtualBox 7.02 needs to Microsoft Visual C++ 2019, like this showing, sir.
Oh, okay. Who is that?
Sai, sir, myself.
Sai, one minute.
Ravi, I think this is the same for me also, what I is saying.
Sai Ram, huh? Right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Sai.
Okay, okay. 1 minute. I'll make you present a little quick. Share your screen once. You'll get a link. You can share it. Okay. Let me see that. All right. I'm able to see your screen. Okay. What it is saying? Visual. Okay. Package being installed first. Please install and restart then. I think that's okay. I think you click it. I think it should be okay. Yeah. Once it reboots, I think it should be fine. But I think it will reboot it. Okay. Just do it. Okay. All right, guys. Okay. See it. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, it is saying installation failed. Huh? You are on which one? What is the OS you have?
Windows 11, sir.
Windows? Windows 11. Windows 11 you have. Okay. Then let's do this. Just go back to Google.
But sir, I'm also having Windows 11, but I'm able to install it.
Yeah, I think some update he's not having. So CentOS VirtualBox download Windows 11. You type it.
Oracle VirtualBox, right?
Yeah, that's okay. Implied that it is okay. 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 Right. 1 minute. 1 minute. It is saying that, and you don't have that. See, there are two things now, Sai. Whatever error it has given, you can download and install it. Or else, I'm just seeing. Just give me a minute. If he has given any link for us to download. It should work for everyone. I am on Windows 10, and of course it works. And
I think, Ravi, I have already
uh,
downloaded the thing. But when I'm installing, the installation is getting failed and it's saying like 7.0.2, like the same thing.
no, it is saying that there is a dependency that it is missing, right? Okay,
Kind of,
just
yeah.
click. Yeah, just click. Hey, Sai, just give me that error once again, man. You already have the download, right? No need to download it. Just click it again. In your downloads, it should be there, right? Okay, what? Guys, one of you, can you give me that error? Let me tell you where. Guys, go ahead and do it. Let's fix it up once for all. Ah, okay. What is that? What is that? It is saying Microsoft Visual C++ 2000 needs the C++. Okay, just take that Microsoft Visual C++ 2019 and type it in Google. Download. Just install that. It's just a dependency it is asking. Okay. C++ 2019. Download. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Click the first link. Or you can even download also, right? Or else, yeah. Yeah, you have a download here. Author Microsoft. 64-bit. Okay. So it should, after this, you install this, then try it outside. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It will work. All right. Guys, we'll do the installation of CentOS now. Okay. So any OS when you install, what happens, right? When you do the installation on your system, what happens is you'll get some screens. You click it and installation gets completed. After that, you log into the system and you'll see that there are some files and folders that got created, right? So when you are doing installation of any Unix or Linux, and throughout the course, whenever I'm using word Unix, I mean what shown you in the previous thing, that when I say Unix, I mean something like Solaris, AIX, HP Unix, all that. When I am saying Linux, of course, it is CentOS or any kind of Linux. Both are pretty much same, right? So any Unix or Linux stuff, when you do the installation, what happens is during the installation, it will do these three things. Okay, it will set up kernel, it will set up shell, and it will create a file system. The file system that it creates is what I have put it here. Now, what is this kernel and shell is? The main code, excuse me, guys. The main code, what they have written for your Linux, that is called kernel. Okay. What is a shell means? Shell is also the program only. It's a program which comes along with your OS. What this shell does is whenever you enter any command, it will check whether that is a valid command or not. Then it will pass it to the kernel. Meaning that once the installation is done, if this is you or I, we enter a command, the very first thing that what will happen is shell will interpret it. It will see whether what you entered is a valid one or not. If it is a valid command, then that request, it will pass it to kernel. Kernel is the main OS, main program that they have written for your OS. And this guys knows how to do changes on your hardware. Meaning that if as a user you are telling to create a file, okay, you are telling to create a file, when you give that command, shell will see whether the command that you have entered is valid or not. If it is valid, it will tell to the kernel on the hard disk, go ahead and create a file, and kernel will do it for you. So this is basically a kind of a command interpreter, meaning that whatever user enters, it will check whether it is valid or not. Whereas kernel is the main code, which actually does the changes on your hardware, right? As the installation progresses, it will create a different directories like this. It will create a directory. This is called root directory. You see, it will create a directory with /. This is called root directory. Inside it, it will create a lot of subdirectories like this. Okay, and the installation gets completed. What is the importance of each directory here is there is an importance, guys. Okay, see, in this directory, which is called etc, in this directory, this is where you will see all the configuration files will be there. Okay, what is the meaning of configuration files is the behavior of Unix or Linux is that, see, right after practicing few things on Linux, we'll start working on Ansible, right? Ansible is a tool. Ansible, when you install it, every software will come with a configuration file. So similarly, Ansible also, when you install it, it will come with a configuration file. What that configuration file does is, when you want to change the behavior of your software, you can configure it in the configuration file. Meaning that tomorrow when Ansible is installed, default will work for every one of us. But let's say Sai says that, no, I want my Ansible tool to work little bit differently with little bit different settings. Then how is he going to tell to Ansible that, Ansible, I want you to behave like this? How does he tell it to Ansible? He tells to the Ansible by updating configuration file of Ansible. So every tool will have a corresponding configuration file. Every software you install on Unix or Linux will come with a configuration file. Whenever you want to change the behavior of how your tool should work, you will tell it with the configuration files, right? So all the configuration files, you will find it in etc. So anytime going forward, I tell them, hey guys, hey Ansible, just change the configuration file. So in which directory you are going to look for that? You are going to look in a directory called etc. You have a directory called boot, and inside this you will find a file called VM Linux. Okay. See, this is your main kernel, guys. So never ever do anything in boot directory. Never ever delete anything in boot directory. If you delete the files there, your system will not come up. This is the main kernel. Don't touch this file. Okay. In any operating system, what happens is there is something called home directories, right? So if you take a Linux system, when you are doing the installation, it will create one user and one user. That user is called root. So it means this is your system. You start the installation. Installation is done. During the process, it will ask you enter a password. We will enter a password. Let's say some ABC. This password is basically for a user called root. Root is the super user in Unix and Linux, meaning that you log in as username root, and with that password, you are allowed to do anything and everything. Okay. If I have to equate it with your Windows, root is equal to the administrator of your Windows. Correct. But you create a system, installation is completed, then let's say a developer or a DBA comes and they tell that, oh, I want to do something on this system. Can you please create an account for me? Okay. You cannot say that, okay, I'll give you the root user. Because if you give the root password to everyone will be able to do everything. If everyone is able to do everything, you cannot manage that system. So what you will do as a DevOps guy or as a Linux administrator is that you will create a user on this system. For instance, there is a guy called Ravi who wants to work on this system. You will create a user with name Ravi and you will set a password for him. Let's say password ABC. So whenever Ravi has to work on this system, he will log in as Ravi. And whenever a normal user logs in, this is the prompt you will get. When you log in as root, this is the prompt you will get. You get this prompt, it means you log in as root and you are allowed to do anything and everything. And a normal user, when he logs in, he'll get a prompt like this dollar, meaning that is a normal user and he will not be allowed to do any administrative stuff. Okay. So whenever you create any user, for every user, a home directory will be created. What is a home directory? It's a directory where that user owns it. He can put all his files and other things. Similarly, on Windows also, if you see on your laptop or desktop, you create a user under document and settings with your name, a folder will be created, right? That is where you can store all the stuff. Unix and Linux, home directories will be created in this directory. For instance, now when we created Ravi, a directory with name Ravi will be created here, and this is where Ravi can put all his personal files. Whereas when you log in as root, this is the home directory for root. This is the home directory for root. He'll be here. This is his directory. He can put whatever he wants there. Okay. All the commands, whatever in Unix and Linux, anything you want to do it, there is a command for that, right? You want to create a file, there is a command. You want to create a directory, there is a file. You want to move a file, there is a command for that. All the commands, you will find it in this directory called bin. All the commands will be there in this bin directory. Or to put it in another way, what is a command, guys? Command is nothing but a program, right? What is that program means it's just a file, right? So all the files which are in bin, those are commands. You can run it. Who can run it? Both a root can run it and a normal user also can run it. But there are some commands, for example, rebooting the system or any kind of administrative things you want to do it. You don't want everybody on your system to do that. You want only to root to do those things, right? Those kind of commands, you will find it in sbin. There is a directory called sbin, and whatever commands you see under this sbin directory, these can be executed only by root. Normal users cannot execute that. Whereas whatever is there in bin, everybody can execute it, right? Similarly, there is a directory called usr. Inside this also there are two directories, bin and sbin. Whatever commands are there under usr bin, anybody can run it. Whatever are there under usr sbin, only root can do it. So it means there are four places where you will find commands in Unix and Linux. One is bin, sbin, usr bin, usr sbin. Whatever are there in bin, anybody can do it. Whatever are there in sbin, only root can do it. Okay. OPT is the directory where you have to install your third-party packages. Meaning that tomorrow you want to install Oracle on this system, or let's say WebSphere on this, or Tomcat, or whatever it is. I would suggest that go ahead and install it in the OPT directory. Now, if you ask me, Ravi, is it mandatory that it has to be installed in OPT? Can't we install it in some other directory? You can, nobody will stop you. But if you put it in OPT, let's say you have installed it and it's a year now, somebody logs into the system. They want to clean up your system, free up some space. They'll, the moment they see something in OPT, they'll understand, oh, this directory, we should not remove it. because this is related to some software. Okay, so it's a good practice to install it in OPT so that people, when they log in, they understand, oh, these directories are created because of some third-party kind of software, and we should not delete it. In that sense, it's good that all third-party packages you install it in OPT. Okay, there is one more directory called where. This is where you will find all your log files. Okay, so tomorrow you work on Ansible, right? Whatever Ansible is doing, what it will do is it will create a file in this where directory, and there it will note down what all it is doing. It will note it down. So anytime you want to troubleshoot if something is not working on Ansible, you can go and see in the log files what all it has done over a period of time and assess where it went wrong. And you have a directory called TMP. This is a temporary directory. So anything you put it here, it is temporary. So never ever put any permanent files or folders in this directory. Okay, it's a temporary purpose. So basically, once you do the installation, these are the different directories that comes up. A root user will get created, right? And you log in with the root, and you can do anything. Of course, you should learn how to create individual users so that those users can also work. So what we'll do with this is, now this is just on surface kind of stuff. With this little introduction, now what we'll do is we'll install our CentOS 7, we'll log in, and we'll start practicing all our commands and other things. As we go, we'll keep building our concepts. Okay, so the way I'll do is, in your syllabus, very first chapter Linux, whatever 7-8 points are there, we'll cover that. Then during that only I'll give you some exercises. Then the idea is that you will practice it with the diagram what we have given, right? So all those installation of Mongo, installation of memcached and all that, I'll show you those things, and you should be able to do the installation of all that. And that should really land you in a very, very comfortable position. Okay. So I think we'll leave it here for today. Tomorrow, what I will do is I'll start the installation. I'll leave it there, and I'll keep, as the installation progresses for 10-15 minutes, I'll keep speaking about a little bit more theory on the Linux and Unix stuff. Once it is ready, we'll start practicing. So from tomorrow onwards, everything is practical. So guys, just keep the download of VirtualBox and CentOS ready. VirtualBox, install it. CentOS, keep it ready so that you also can do installation along with me. All right. Okay. Any quick questions, guys? Anyone?
Sir, this is Rajkumar. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Sir, actually, the thing is, I'm a SAP ABAP consultant with 10 years of experience.
Okay.
So I wanted to reskill myself. So
Okay.
how do you suggest? Like, can I come with the DevOps? If you want, I can call you separately if you
No,
have
there is
time.
nothing thing, as we discussed in the demo also, you want to reskill as DevOps, just literally follow whatever you are doing in class. That is why we are starting it from ground zero. Enough.
Okay.
You should be good.
So, so in my next company, like, how much experience I can show with the DevOps if I attend this
See,
class?
I'll tell you, put it 4 to 5 years, you show it. Okay. It doesn't matter, guys.
Mhm.
The kind of syllabus we have, you put 10 also, it will works, but 10 becomes too much for you because wide adoption of these tools happened from last 4 to 5 years. So definitely put four to
Mhm.
five years. Don't hesitate in that.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So see you all tomorrow. Keep everything ready and let's get started, man. Guys, I'll the way I'll go is, as we have to do it disciplined. We have 1 hour time to do it. I will literally just follow the whole syllabus. Okay. So so
Hello,
make
sir.
sure that you don't miss any class. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, this is Manmit Singh. I wanted to know, like, we will be doing any real-time project, like one, two, or three projects. How is it in your way?
I think we discussed, right, Manat? This one in the syllabus, we gave you a diagram, right?
Yes, exactly.
So that
JFrog,
will do, and
Nexus, and
yeah,
that all thing. And so, but in the like syllabus thing, it was not like mentioned. Like the diagram was mentioned, but in the syllabus whole thing, JFrog, Puppet, this was not mentioned. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, just one share your screen. Just show me what syllabus you are. You are Mannat, right?
Okay.
Where is your name, man? I don't find your name.
Mono, sir.
Mono.
That
Okay.
I from I joined with mobile, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just share me the screen. Just to make sure we all having same syllabus in front of us.
Is it visible?
I sent you a link. Did you click that? Now it is visible, guys. Okay.
No,
Yeah. Now it is.
I'm sharing which this is the one.
Okay. Okay. Bring it down. Scroll it down. Where did you see puppet here?
So this here in the diagram, Puppet, Chef,
Where it
or
is?
Ansible in the org configuration management tools.
No. That is we'll focus on Ansible only. We don't cover puppet and
Okay.
other things. Puppet and other things are
Ah,
gone, guys. No, you don't use it now. I
okay.
myself was the guy who set up, who started puppet in Visualpath 6 years back, and but I myself now telling people don't use that. I'll do one
No,
thing
sir.
tomorrow.
Okay, I got it. Ansible, we will be doing. Okay. So I wanted to like
Okay, let me put it
deployment
this way.
server like NGX, Apache, Tomcat. That also we will get to know about it.
You will get to know about it, guys.
Okay.
What this diagram? Leave it to me. Our syllabus is whatever syllabus is given down. That is the syllabus. Okay, don't get confused with this diagram. Okay, don't get confused with that map and frog and all that. I think what they've given, just that leave it to me. Your syllabus is scroll it down, Mono. You there, Mono? Okay, I think I'll only show you guys. Okay, I'll explain you why we have put all what is the idea there. Okay, you guys there? Am I audible? Am
Yes, yes,
audible?
yes, sir.
Okay,
You're
I'll explain you guys. Okay, just leave it off there. Don't worry about the project and all that. We'll come down to that. Okay, first set up your lab, then slowly I'll build your concepts. Okay. All right, guys. Talk to you all tomorrow.